Hi y'all. This is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? As promised in my last video, I am here to talk about one being a whole number. Now, I'm not too good at math. I know my add, multiply, subtract, divide. I'm kind of like Jethro on Beverly Hillbillies. I know my goes into. One goes into two times. 5 goes into 10 two times. 10 goes into 100 10 times. You get my drift, right? Well, I know the basic math. But one thing I can tell you, I do know that 1 is a whole number. What I mean by that is you, yourself, are more than enough. Okay, y'all say this with me. Me, myself, and I am more than enough. Did you say it? I want to hear you say it. Me, myself, and I am more than enough. Now, okay, sometimes this is hard to take from a person who's all booed up and happy. Single people, y'all know what I mean, right? First of all, where are my single people? Single ladies, all the single ladies. Where are my single people out there? Single ladies, single men. Raise your hand. Hold your head there. Okay, I'm talking to you. So many times we think that we are not enough and that we need someone else to complete us. And sometimes, like I was saying, that's hard to take from a person who is booed up, especially someone who is happily booed up. Guilty as charged. But sometimes it's hard to take. But I feel like you can take that from me because I have not always been married. I have not always been booed up. Now, what I found when I was a single person, what was very hard for me to take was people who had been in a relationship or married or in constant relationships since they were like 18, 19 years old. Never had a time where they were alone more than a few months. Either been married for 2 and 3 times or have been married for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and then they want to tell me about being single. But I'm like, wait a minute, you ain't never been single a day in your life. You went from your mama house to your husband's house. So I found it when I was single very hard to take sometimes. I mean, I would listen, I would glean whatever I could from whatever people told me, married or not. But I found it sometimes very hard to take when women were married and would tell me about, oh, marriage ain't all it's cracked up to be. Girl, be happy you single. Don't rush it. Enjoy your single life. Whatever advice they had to give me. Like I said, I gleaned what I felt was helpful to me. But sometimes, though, it would just like grate my last nerve for someone who's never been single to tell me about being patient and waiting on God, and it's not all it's cracked up to be and all of that. But the reason I feel like you can take this from me is because, y'all, I was single for 38 years. And, well, maybe I shouldn't say I was single for 38 years. Okay. I got married at age 38. I did have, in the past, I had boyfriends and relationships and booze and all that. But for the 13 years leading up to me getting married, I was single. No boyfriend, no dating. I won't say no dating. I don't want to mislead. I don't want to lie, mislead. I probably had a few dates. You probably count on one hand in 13 years how many dates I had. I tried dating a few different guys. I would say maybe there were about 3 or 4 different guys within that 13 years that I tried to start forming a relationship with, but it just didn't go anywhere. For whatever, at that time, I didn't understand why. I mean, I had my theories. I was not sexually active. That was one of my theories, was like, they eventually found out that I really meant what I said, that you ain't getting none. And they eventually believed it, and they fled. And then there were some that I just didn't feel compatible with, that just didn't have the spiritual thing going on that I wanted, etc. Whatever reason. But now I know it didn't work out because God had something more awesome for me. Hallelujah. But anyways, but I was single for 13 years. So I feel like, not that I'm some expert, but that does qualify me to encourage you and say that you are more than enough alone. It is not easy. It does not feel good to the flesh. It does not feel good to the emotions. I know that. I have been there. There have been times that I have cried. I relayed this story one time on one of my videos way back in the day. One of my almost 1,000 videos that I have now. What have I been talking about for almost 900 videos? Y'all tell me. But anyway, I digress. But there was the one time I was headed to work, and I was just maybe in this, oh Lord, where is my husband? When am I going to get married? Oh, I'm lonely. I was in one of those moods, and I was at work, and I looked over and saw this man and this woman, this guy driving and the girl in the passenger seat, and she had her hand behind his neck, and she was just rubbing the back of his head as he drove, and they laughed and they talked, and I looked over and I thought, cried. I was saying, I want to rub somebody's head while they drive. I just relayed that to tell you I have been there, done that. It does not always feel good. But ladies and gentlemen, and I'm talking to both ladies and gentlemen, but I got to tell you, as I've always said, my heart is with the ladies. Love you men, but my heart is with the ladies. Ladies, you don't have to choose to just be with anybody who will be with you, no matter, regardless how they treat you, how they mistreat you, how they degrade you, how they are inconsiderate of you. You don't have to, you should not be with that person just to quell the loneliness, just to balance the loneliness. I know loneliness is hard. I mean, loneliness can be a heartbreaker, but don't sell yourself short. You are more than enough. You are awesome. You are special. You are a treasure. And what you're wanting in a relationship, what you're wanting in a husband, what you're wanting in a wife, don't just give that away to anybody who will spend a little time with you just to pass the time of day. You can spend your time getting busy doing other things, fulfilling your dreams, traveling. I mean, I know a lot of things you say, but I want to do that with a husband. I want to do that with my man. I might want to do that with my woman. But that time will come. But fill your time helping others. Fill your time in your church. Fill your time developing that relationship with God, delighting yourself in Him, because truly, as you delight yourself in Him, He will give you the desires of your heart. And if one of those desires is to be married, to be in a loving married relationship, God will fulfill that. He will do that for you. I don't know when. I cannot say when, because I couldn't even say when for myself. I thought God had gone crazy. I thought He had forgotten about me. I was like, Lord, I'm a good girl. I go to church. I pay my tithes and my offering. I read my word. I'm good to people. I'm kind to people. And all these old scallywag women getting husbands. I'm sorry. That's just what I said. Like, all these women getting 2 and 3 husbands, and I can't get one. But little did I know that God was shaping and forming my husband just for me, and shaping me and forming me just for my husband. You don't just pass the time with just anybody. Don't give your treasure, what God, that special part of you, which is your time, your talent, your love, your effort, your sex, your love making. Don't just give that to anybody. Don't just give that to someone just to pass the time with. Don't give that to someone who's not willing to make a commitment to you. A man who wants to marry you, you will know it, because he will ask you to. Even if he's not ready right at this moment, he is asking you for the future. and not the far too distant future, but he's asking you for the future because he realizes that you are something awesome and something special, and he realizes that if he does not lock in on you, that there are plenty of others who would be blessed to have you. So if you got a man or a woman and they're stringing you along after years and years and years, and you don't even know where you are with them. You don't know, are you the girlfriend? Are you the fiance? Are you the future wife? You don't know. You don't know what you are. You just know that he's just, you're just somebody that he calls when you, want to call, and when he sex when you want to sex, but you don't know where you stand emotionally. Then it's time to cut that loose. It's time to cut that loose because you are holding up, that person is holding up space for whom God has for you. That special person that God has just for you. You have someone filling up space. And why is God going to bring you who he has for you, and you got some space filler? What they call them, seat fillers in the movie theater. They call them seat fillers just to make the theater look full. They have seat fillers. Well, some of us just have seat fillers in our lives, and they're just making our life look full, but our life isn't full. There is just full of seat fillers. You got to get rid of those seat fillers so that the real person who is for you will come into your life. Ladies and gentlemen, especially my ladies, one is a whole number. You are whole. Like I say, do things to enjoy life. Travel more. If you want to further your education, volunteer in different organizations, volunteer in your church, learn a new skill set, go do things that you've always wanted to do, go places that you've always wanted to go, try new things, but don't just go do things with the mindset of finding a husband or finding a wife. Because if you go somewhere or do something with the mindset of finding a husband or finding a wife, you know what you're going to look like? Like, for instance, if you went to a festival and you're going to that festival solely to find a husband, you know what you're going to look like? You're going to look like a woman who's at a festival looking for a man because they can sniff you out. A man can sniff out a woman who is solely in a place looking for a man and looking for, like, pick me. No, you don't want that. But do expand your life. Do things to broaden your horizon, socially, spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially, etc. You do want to try new things that will expand your horizon, but don't just go solely for the purpose of looking for a husband, looking for a man. Those of you who say you happy just where you are, you're not looking for a husband, you're not looking for a relationship, you're not looking for a wife, awesome. I'm not saying every single woman is looking for a relationship or a husband, and I'm not saying every single man is looking for a wife. If that's not what you want, that's not what you're looking for, then just listen for entertainment purposes only. But I'm speaking to those who truly want a husband or a wife. And let me tell you, there is nothing wrong with wanting that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with admitting it. And some of you out there want a husband, and some of you out there want a wife, but you feel like that is such a bad thing to admit because you feel that makes you look desperate. I've said this many times before in past videos, that admitting that you want a husband, admitting that you want a good husband or a good wife does not make you appear desperate. It makes you appear honest. What makes you appear desperate is doing and being and acting upon anything just to get one. One is a whole number, y'all. You are a whole, complete, and wonderful all by yourself. God will bring you someone who will complement your life, not complete it. Because God is jealous God, and He's not going to have anybody in your life completing it, because God completes your life. But He will bless you with someone who can come and complement your life. I hope that something I rambled on about penetrates your heart, gets into the bone and marrow of your soul, and that you can be inspired, encouraged, motivated by it. Like I said, I've been there, done that. And I wish there was a YouTube that I could have watched on those days when I was sitting there crying, saying, Lord Jesus, where is my man? Where is my husband? I wish there was a YouTube that I could, watch and get some encouragement. So I hope this encourages somebody. All right, I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. And remember, one is a whole number. You are more than enough all by yourself. But while you're living your life, delight yourself in God. He'll give you the desires of your heart. Y'all be blessed.